What's going on, everyone? Another episode of the JDA show, Ep.6, coming your way. Andy, Jesse, how you guys doing?
Doing great.
Yeah, good.
You made it back. Made it back. They let you back into the country.
Yeah, barely made it back by the skin of my teeth, but I'm here. We're 6 feet apart right now.
What was it like at the airport? Did they do anything like?
So it was a mob house. Crazy lines like you've never seen at an airport. We were probably in like over 1,000-person line. Almost, we would have missed our flight if it wasn't for this great airport employee who came into the line and was like, anybody getting on this flight? It's leaving right now. So we got to skip the line, had to run through the airport, make our flight. It was stressful. Very stressful.
Good to see you back.
Yeah, glad to be here.
Today's agenda, we're going to start off with some more Patriots talk. Then we're going to have a new overrated, underrated segment. We got 5 NBA players that we're going to discuss. Then we're going to have ourselves a Edelman versus Welker debate. Always a good conversation to have. Then we're going to talk about the coronavirus's effect on sports and where the league should go from here. And then we're just going to talk some off-topic stuff to end the show. So, Jesse, you weren't here last week for the most part. Do you have any initial thoughts on Tom Brady that come to mind?
I mean, I wish him the best. Still really disappointed he's not a Patriot. I think the Pats messed up. I think they're going to do good things out in Tampa Bay. Definitely going to make the playoffs. I don't know.
Do you think Brady made the right decision by signing with Tampa?
I mean, if it wasn't the Pats, I think Tampa was a fine idea. Warm weather for the family. He's got that loaded offense. Arians has got his head on straight, it seems. I don't know. I think probably better off going there than
staying here.
Well,
I think if he stayed here, it might have been a mistake for him.
I mean, he would have to come back with his tail between his legs on a 1-year, $15 million deal, which I wouldn't want to see him do. His market wasn't that big, I guess.
We talked about 3 or 4 teams.
Not even. It was really just the Bucs and the Chargers. Weren't even fully committed.
A lot of the teams that are rebuilding who don't have a quarterback aren't going to go pay $30 million for a 42-year-old quarterback if they're not even.
He only got 2 years, 50. And it's like the Chargers, who are moving into a new stadium, couldn't go outbid them.
Yeah,
a lot of people thought he was going to get $30 million a year.
And maybe these execs don't think he's worth it. Maybe they don't think he has that ability.
That's what Vegas said. That's what they said why they weren't in on him, because they've been watching tape of him for the last few seasons and they weren't impressed by what they saw. But hey, you keep rolling out Derek Carr or Marcus Mariota, who they just signed, and see how your season goes.
Yeah.
Destined for 8-8.
Yeah. So I think I've heard from some people that, they're mad at Brady for leaving. And I just think that's a very idiotic take to have and a very closed-minded take. So you're going to hold a guy accountable for leaving when everything he's done for you and pretty much got disrespected in negotiations that Belichick said, no, he's got to come to us with what he wants. That's not how things work. Brady was the free agent.
To me, if he left, say what's his name, where it was never offsides against the Chiefs in the AFC Championship.
Was it D Ford?
Yeah. Chiefs go on to win that game, go to the Super Bowl, beat the Rams. We were that close. If he left after that season, I think I could justify a little bit of animosity towards him, because I'd be like, fuck you, man, we were so close. That's almost like KD leaving OKC.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But this season was such a disaster, in my opinion, that I don't if he thinks that he has anything left that can bring a team to a Super Bowl, and he thinks Tampa Bay is his best bet, then best of luck to him.
I just think if you're actually vocalizing your anger towards him, I feel like you're just trying to be a hard ass.
I still haven't gotten the full story on it, whether he really was ushered out the door, if he really didn't want to be back. I still don't think any of us really know what the case is there.
I don't think anybody really knows, but I've heard a lot about how ever since Belichick tried to trade him back in 2017, Brady's been
ready to leave,
looking to get out of here. Yeah.
I mean,
that's where all the turmoil over the last couple of years. I always thought it was bullshit. I always thought it was the media hyping some of that up, that Belichick and Brady really don't like each other. But I think there is some cadence to that now.
You brought up Wickersham when you were on the FaceTime last week. A lot of people owe him an apology because he was pretty on it it was 2 seasons ago. And I think things started to kind of crumble when, I want to say it was after the year they lost to Philly.
Yeah.
And they made him come back and play for incentives. Like, that would have been a perfect time to extend him. He threw for 500 yards in the Super Bowl.
And you think about like what Brady does
NFL
for this
record.
team, and we got to that Super Bowl again. And not only from Brady's viewpoint, but from all the other players, when Belichick was like, "Yeah, Malcolm Butler's not playing in this game," like, I still don't understand that. I don't. Nobody will ever get an answer because Bill will never talk about what happened 2 minutes ago.
I still can't believe that really hasn't come out yet. That really shows how tight they have things at Patriots Place, and how not one single player has leaked that. And I know
or
coach
or former player that like got
Butler's not on the team anymore.
Yeah.
Like, if Bill really just completely screwed him and just didn't play him, you think he would have said that.
Yeah, maybe it makes you think there's definitely more to it.
One of the rumors there was something to do with Butler getting into it with Steve Belichick, and I can only imagine that's his son.
That's got to be some clickbait right there.
Hey,
Yeah. Steve Belichick?
I'm in for any conspiracy.
What kind of argument could you get in with that?
Hey,
rip?
It's a Super Bowl and he didn't play. Maybe Butler's
simp.
Hey, speaking of Bill, I know we were just talking about Tom and who's at fault, why he left, this and that. Originally, I said, I'm very upset at Bill, and I was originally, but I just took a step back, took some deep breaths, and I've come to think that you do have to trust Bill Belichick and his little process. It's worked this long. Yeah,
I agree.
But he hasn't been perfect. He's let players go.
For sure. I'm definitely still a little upset because I know Bill had a big part in him not coming back, probably. But I definitely want to backtrack on my statements that I made in the last show where I was like, I'm pissed at him, Bill this,
But like, as a fan, you can't praise him for 20 years for being Bill Belichick, which is why they're so great, and then just completely kill him for this. I understand people being upset.
Yeah.
I think at the very least, if you weren't going to bring Brady back, you could have offered him something manageable, and I really don't think 2 years at $25 million per would have been that outrageous.
So it's a lot of money. Might be more.
It's a lot of money, and they don't have a lot of cap space. I think they have
Yeah, they're hopefully
ninth least amount of cap space.
I'm hearing they're going to try to actually extend Joe Tooney to clear some cap space for this year because he's on the books for like $14 million right now with that tag.
Yeah.
So that'll open up some space, and they're still trying to get off that Antonio Brown $9.5 million. And I guess if they're going to go to arbitration, and if he gets cleared off the books, it won't come off until next season. And there was this like big Patriots cap guy on Twitter was on the radio and was saying that some money that they owed Aaron Hernandez just came off the books, like $2 or $3 million. So they were still kind of paying him a little bit. So
the fuck, really?
I don't know. I don't know if they was like still paying him like the family money. I don't know, but that's what the guy said, and I wouldn't be surprised.
Huh.
And actually, talking about Antonio Brown, did you hear what Bruce Arians said, that he wants nothing to do with AB?
Really?
And I think that's kind of surprising because a lot of people thought AB
Would end
and
up
Brady
where
were
Tom
like
goes.
that was something that teams would try and pull Brady in, like, hey, we'll bring in Antonio Brown. But
it would be one thing if they didn't have like that studded receiving core,
Yeah, right.
they almost don't need him, and they got two.
Brady
good tight ends.
can't be that naive to be like, listen, just give the guy a chance. He's a really good guy if you get to know him.
I actually think that if a team does sign him this upcoming year, that he'll stay on the team the whole year. I think
he better.
I think he's
done.
I think he's leveled out
where like head cases end up like, or I feel like a good spot for him would be like Seattle. I feel like playing for like Pete Carroll and that like laid back sort of like atmosphere that they have going on there. Then I feel like he could maybe get through a season with them. But
Russell
who knows? He
Wilson
can't
would be
stand his own way.
Russell Wilson would be a nice soothing personality to come
That would
back.
actually be a pretty cool duo.
I'm
Antonio Brown, Josh Gordon, DK Metcalf.
No, Gordon's gone.
Yeah.
Is he gone?
Got suspended.
Did he really?
Yeah, he tested positive for probably, the 10th time.
I low-key root for the Seahawks from afar. They're one of my favorite NFC
Seahawks.
teams.
I like
Pete
Carroll.
Wilson.
Big Pete Carroll guy and a big Russell
I
Wilson
think
guy.
Russell Wilson is one of the funnest players to watch in the league, the way he moves out of the pocket.
Yeah.
He's a shorter quarterback.
Yeah, he has all the mobility that like someone kind of like Jackson has, but he's got the whole arm to go with it, and the head.
Yeah,
Most
I was
importantly,
gonna
he's
say.
got the head.
Yeah.
What do you think about the Patriots bringing in Hoyer? You all excited for that?
Yeah, that was really good to see. I was happy to see that.
I don't even want to talk about that, to be honest.
You
I
don't
just
wanna-
hope the guy does not get the ball in a regular season
He
game.
won't.
That's all it comes
He
down
won't.
to.
It's going to be Stidham's job, and I think bringing in Hoyer to add a little bit of competition between the two of them it might be a good thing.
Bring someone else in if you want competition. Fuck.
You know what Hoyer is.
I'm just kidding.
No, you know what Hoyer is, but he's a bum.
Yeah.
He's a backup.
He's a bum, but he also got. I mean, the Texans paid him to be their starting quarterback. What, like 4 years ago or something like that? Before Deshaun Watson came into the league.
Yeah, I don't know how much money they gave him, but yeah, he was on
He's
Tennessee,
shown
Houston.
He showed that he can be a quarterback in this league, but he just falls into bad habits and looks like an idiot out there. Like, I don't know. I don't think Hoyer in an ideal world, Stidham's our quarterback all season long. But if Stidham really starts to suck, then
A lot of people think
it's going to be Hoyer the rest of the way, and
I'd
we're going to be
rather
doomed
Edelman
to
take the ball.
We're going to be doomed to 7-9.
a lot of people think that Hoyer might be with the ones in training camp, and even though it's Stidham's job to lose, that as a Patriot you go earn it. And they're
Yeah.
going to go make Stidham win the job in training camp.
Which, yeah, I like that idea. Just kind of like,
Just wish it wasn't Brian Hoyer with them. Just the fact of that he could potentially, that we might have to watch him every Sunday, makes me want to throw up in my mouth.
Yeah, I'm not very
He's
excited.
horrible. He's so bad. He came in for the Colts this past season, and the Colts were they were like a top team in the AFC, and he came in and blew a couple of games,
Ruined
threw
it.
a few interceptions each game, and he screwed the rest of their
He's
season.
just such a dork. You can't root for him.
That's like the typical Bill Belichick move that just pisses me off. Like, really? This guy's third tenure with us. Can we stop with the fucking Brian Hoyer?
I have no problem. Like, when Brady was around and they brought him back, like, to reunite the quarterbacks, get his backup back, I was all for that move. Like, we get Brady as backup, whatever. Don't like bringing him back now.
No, but go ahead, RJ.
Would you bring in Cam on a team 1 year, prove yourself, team
Hell
friendly?
yeah.
I'm so torn about it because I don't
would.
like Cam Newton. I can't stand the guy.
He's
I
not
can't
very
stand
likable
his
the way he
fucking
carries himself.
outfits, his fucking cocky attitude on the field. Like, but he's a baller. I mean, the kid can. He's showed it, but the last time he was on the football field, he didn't look all that sharp.
He's a vet now, man. He's been in the league. This is his
31.
10th year.
He went to a Super Bowl. He almost had a perfect season.
He's got an MVP under his belt.
Yeah.
He's hungry. He feels disrespected by what Carolina's doing with him. I think he'd be a great fit. Everyone's like, the Pats don't have that type of offense to.
I just feel like his ego's too big for a Patriot.
If he came in, he'd probably. I don't know how things would go if he wasn't the starter. But the thing is,
I don't want to
Yeah.
bring him in. That could mess up shit if he was not the starter.
and
but-
especially with you don't have exactly the same leadership with Brady gone now.
Yeah.
But I think that if he came in, he's got so much upside. I mean, this guy's an MVP, a number 1 pick, and if it's just for a team-friendly deal, why not take the chance on him? With the chance to gain that much talent,
he's got all the talent in the world. Like,
it's just the injury. That
still could be a better quarterback than some of these young. Like, when Cam's on his game, he's a better version of Lamar Jackson. Like, he's got a better arm than he does,
Yeah.
and
he's got to learn how to be more of a
He's a-
pocket passer because
he
his
does.
body's breaking down.
It
And
is.
he's not going to last long in the league if he keeps getting hurt.
no, I mean
He missed all of last season, right?
He is huge.
Yeah, he's
Did you
6'6".
see that-
He's
Did
6'6",
you see that video
230.
of him
That dude could go
working
play
out?
tight end.
Like,
He could go play tight end
He
right
could play
now.
almost any position.
you saw that video of him when he's like, they gave up on me.
Yeah.
Like, he's working out.
He's
I'm like,
jacked,
that
man.
guy is a fucking animal. But yeah, I'd rather see Cam Newton than Brian Hoyer.
I want to get hashtag anybody but Hoyer
Yeah.
trending on Twitter because
Yeah.
I would rather. I hate Andy Dalton. Still would rather Andy Dalton over Brian Hoyer.
Same.
Because at least Andy Dalton is somewhat of a starter in the league.
I have the same feelings towards having Dalton as our quarterback as I would having Hoyer.
Really?
Yeah,
Dalton's
to
been
the
a
same
starter
level?
for like
Yeah,
14 years, though.
They both are like the same dork status to me. Like, I don't want either one of them touching my ball. They're not winners.
I don't want Dalton, but still would take him over Hoyer.
My dream scenario is all the NFL teams pass on bringing in Jameis Winston, and the Pats scoop him up on the cheapest deal possible, and we have our new quarterback for
I would
the next
take
5 years.
Jameis over Hoyer.
Famous
No, I would
Jameis.
too. Well, he's younger than Cam too.
Yeah.
He's hungry. He's willing to learn. He's willing. I would like to see him
Yeah,
follow
I
the
would
paths.
take
It
Winston
probably
over
won't happen,
Newton.
though.
I would take Winston over Newton. He's
I'd
younger.
probably take
He has
Winston
an
over
arm.
Cam, too.
Yeah, and he's more traditional than Cam is for the most part.
Yeah.
And you just got to get maybe
yeah,
Bill could knock some
I was going to
sense
say,
into
if
him, get
anything,
those
knock some sense
turnovers
into
Winston
out of him.
needs some like stability around him, not that wild offense over in Tampa Bay where he's just slinging it left and right.
And Bill's made his legendary status by always taking away like a team's strongest point and exposing their weakest point. And I feel like he does the same with his players by not allowing them to use their weakest point and by like overemphasizing their strongest point. James has got an arm, you know.
He's got to protect the ball. He has to protect the football. He's too careless. 30 interceptions. What do you have, like
39 turnovers?
So like 9 fumbles.
Yeah.
But I mean, if Brady aired the ball out as much as they did down in Tampa, then he might throw 30 interceptions. I mean, I don't think so, but like, my point is that you get the ball out of his hands quickly and get him to just make quick, precise decisions.
Who's that, Jameis?
Yeah.
Yeah, which is the Pats offense currently with the type of receivers and stuff we have.
He's another guy. If you could get him cheap for a year, why not take a chance on him?
Yeah.
He's still young. He could be your future
He's only
quarterback.
25.
Yeah. Wow, really?
Yeah.
He's only been in the league 5 years.
Yeah, or maybe 26, but he's under 26 or 26 or
which is really young in today's football. Like,
these quarterbacks all are thinking about playing till 40.
He's got plenty of time left.
Quick note, if that's the mindset going forward, these records are going to get smashed. Patrick Mahomes is going to lead in every passing category. Unless barring injuries.
Hopefully he stays healthy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Matt Ryan and Matt Stafford are probably going to be up there when they're done. Because how much those guys huck the ball around their domes.
Yeah.
Love Stafford.
What do you think about these rumors with Deshaun
I was
Watson?
just going to say, my dream scenarios.
I haven't looked into them. I saw like one headline. Is there any
he tweeted out saying some shit about like the Texans, like he's not sure who plays for the team anymore and all this crap. And some people think that he might have to be traded. And if that's the case, all the Patriots have to do is send Bill O'Brien a 6th-round pick, and I bet he'd take the deal.
Honestly,
Bill O'Brien.
Yeah, that guy. I can't imagine he's got many seasons left there.
I can't. Yeah, and I don't think that would happen. I don't think you trade away your star wide receiver and then your 2-time Pro Bowl quarterback.
Might as well just trade everybody.
Well, it would all be, I think, about if he gets the free agency. Then because I don't think they would trade him.
Mm-hmm.
But are you really going to let a guy who's a top 5 quarterback in the league go to free agency? They could even just tag him.
Yeah,
I just don't see any way that you let a guy that's that good
and
the
young.
most important position. Yeah, he's going to be his 4th year in the league
Something
coming
like
up.
That. I mean, he's like
gotta
the
be
same
20.
age as Jameis, pretty much.
I think he came in a year after, right?
Yeah, he might have been a year older when he came in, though. But
yeah,
regardless,
he's got to be 23, 24,
anywhere
really
from
young.
24 to 26.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to see him in a Patriots uniform, though.
Yeah, he's a winner.
Hey, Belichick would love him.
Yeah,
he'd be their future.
Yeah,
he will be.
I think it's a little bit of fantasy.
It
land.
is total fantasy.
Yes.
So last episode we went over the Buccaneers schedule. Right now I want to go over the Patriots schedule because I don't know if everybody realizes how tough of a schedule it is. So I'm going to go down it. If you guys want.
Is it a tough one?
It is a tough schedule.
Okay.
So we got at Buffalo,
loss,
at Houston,
W,
at Kansas City,
loss,
at LA Chargers,
W,
win,
at LA Rams,
W,
at Miami,
W.
I don't know.
Someone keeping track of this? Oh, you have them losing out. All right, you're right. In Florida,
That's why I'll have them split.
I think they'll get it this year.
Then you got home against Buffalo.
Loss.
Home against Miami. You really are that high on Buffalo?
Yeah, I am.
Buffalo's probably winning the division, but we'll get to that after
especially
or later.
Especially by what? That's week 5 when.
They're not in order. He said this is just all of our games.
Yeah, they haven't officially
no
released
dates.
The NFL schedule out yet, so this is just the games. This isn't going to be the order they happen in. So I should have made that more clear.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah, really. So then you got your home against the Jets.
Probably a win.
Home against the Broncos.
Hopefully a win.
You would think if this is in Denver, we might have to talk.
Yeah.
At home against Las Vegas.
Win. Yeah,
at home against
sound weird.
At home against Arizona.
Honestly,
loss.
I
With
could see
D-Hop
that
there
being
now?
an L. Arizona's they're trending up big time.
Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins.
Hey, we'll see what Kyler Murray can do his second year.
I think he's gonna just take another step up.
I think he's good. So then you're at home against the Niners.
Loss.
I gotta win.
Give them at least one big win in the season. They'll get that.
At home against Baltimore.
Loss.
Probably a loss.
At
Blowout.
home, or there at New York Jets. That's
Win.
a win.
Loss.
And then at Seattle, I think that's a loss.
Loss.
They got a lot of West Coast
7-9.
games. They're going to be traveling.
I'll call it 7-9.
7-9. I got them 11-5.
I'll
Winning
say-
the division.
I won't say 7-9.
I
I'll say
wasn't
9
keeping
and
track
7.
of what I picked, but I'm right on 9-7 or 10-6, and I think they're gonna. I'd like to see where that second Bills game falls on the schedule. I'd love it to be like
End
week
of the
17 or 16, but yeah, I'm
They had
thinking.
a game very similar to that this season where Buffalo was hanging around.
Yeah, they were hanging around, and this year is gonna be different.
Didn't we win that game like 10-3
Yeah,
or
it was
something?
a-
10-6.
It was one of Brady's best games of the season, though.
Hey.
He had a good game.
Adding Diggs is gonna make all the difference for that offense. And year 2 is it year 2 or 3?
2.
Three.
Josh?
Three.
Because
Three.
he
This
wasn't
is-
really a starter his first year, or something like
He
that.
might have been, but this
It's
is definitely
year
his
3?
third year. It's
All right,
his
well,
third
either
year.
way, he's trending up. He caught everyone's attention down the stretch of
Yeah,
last
he's not
season.
defined by that boneheaded moment in the
Yeah,
playoffs.
Check the numbers. He's not good.
He's
He's
good.
not
If
bad.
you look at
If you
any,
couple them with his rushing statistics, that's good overall.
Yeah.
if you look at any major passing quarterback statistic, he's in the 20s for each one.
Okay,
Yeah,
but
He's
he's
like
he
was
can-
But
He
he's
can
like
beat-
the,
he
he's
can
the
beat
second
you-
best running quarterback in the league.
That's only
Yeah.
going to get you so far. They're not
Yeah.
winning the division.
well,
Yes,
you
he
bring
was
you
dead
bring
last
in
in completion percentage.
bring in a-
Dead last.
you bring in a stud. Well, maybe not stud, but you bring in Stephon
No,
Diggs.
he's a
That
stud.
changes
He's a
everything.
stud.
They don't. Yeah, it is a stud, but they didn't have weapons last year at all, really.
John
What-
Brown.
John Brown and Frank Gore, like,
Yeah.
come on.
Frank Gore.
What do you expect
Agent.
this? What do you expect this guy to
Is he,
do?
is
Go
he
through
coming out
70%?
again? Is he playing another season? He
I
retired.
don't know. I don't know if he's
Who,
still,
Frank Gore?
I don't know
That
if
would
he's
be
still under
hilarious.
contract.
He's
in
already
Buffalo.
cemented
He's
himself as a Hall of
He's
Famer.
like 62 years old and
He's
still
like
out there.
the worst. Like, I don't know. He has like the least amount of skill of all these. He went for like
what is he like top 3
He's
in rushing
third in
yards?
rushing. Yeah, it's because he's played for like what 16 years and he's gone anywhere from like 800 to 1,000 yards. He's probably never gone over like 1,100 yards.
Yeah, he doesn't really. He's not a bad running back, but you don't. When you think of best running backs of all time, Frank Gore is nowhere near the conversation.
There's so many people that played in his era that I would be like he was a better running back, but we'll get to Frank Gore another day.
Yeah, we'll have a whole segment on him next
Whole
episode.
Yeah.
episode.
So, yeah, Bills are taking the East.
No chance.
I agree with
Bills Mafia.
I would bet any amount of money that the Patriots are winning the AFC East. You can pick the field. The Patriots
All
are
right,
winning the division.
I'll come up with an amount, but I'll
yeah,
take
or
that
we'll just
bet.
do like somebody has to do something if they lose the bet, something like that.
I think RJ should get a Bills tat if the Bills win the division.
I can't. Come on. You're
I
gonna
can't
do that
get
to
I
me?
can't get a tattoo.
No, I don't. No, I was more saying I can't get a Buffalo tat. I already have the JDA show tattooed on my ass.
How about a steak dinner? A good
Yeah,
gentleman's
yeah,
bet, you know?
yeah. We'll go to the Chandelier at MGM. I think that's what it's called.
Chandelier.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right.
That
Never
sounds
mind.
expensive.
It is. So
I'll
big
take that
stakes.
bet.
Okay.
Big
Okay.
steaks.
Yeah. So moving on, overrated, underrated segment. We got 5 NBA players here. I want to discuss whether you think they're overrated or underrated. And I'm going to start things off with one of Jesse's favorite players in the league, Ben Simmons.
Oh God, don't say it like that.
I'm gonna say properly rated. Can I say that?
Oh, hey, I guess.
Yeah, I was saying that should be an option. I did that for one.
Because I don't think he's.
Coward's way out, but I'll accept it as an answer.
I think if I were to pick one, then I would say he's probably a little overrated. But man, and the only reason he's overrated is because I
Still can't shoot the
I
basketball.
can't stand guys who make it into this league who can't shoot.
Hey, and also he was drawing LeBron comparisons coming into the league.
Yeah.
So I think right off the bat that screams overrated. And the way he carries himself, like he's always putting himself in this upper echelon of players. Like you don't if you're there if people put you there. You don't put yourself in that category. You know what I'm trying to say? Like
Yeah.
the other day he came out and tweeted something like talking about Pat Beverly not being a top defender. He's like, there's only 5 elite players in the league, and he named 4 others, and then he finished by naming himself. Elite defenders in the league, sorry. And it was just like that.
Douche.
Yeah, he's just a douche, and he's got a little bit of the Kardashian sickness in him. He messes
He's
around
banging
with Kendall Jenner a little bit, so dude's going to have bad karma, bad juju following him
Well,
all
LeBron
over.
gasses him up on Instagram all the time, calling him like young king or
Ugh.
prince. Those posts are just so
Hey,
cringeworthy.
no, he's just talking up his
yeah.
fellow guys.
Jesse's a huge LeBron fan.
You know what? I've come
Should wear your
around
jersey
on
next
LeBron.
episode.
I've totally come around on
I
LeBron.
used
hate
to
this
hate
debate.
him. I used to hate him, and
Hate it.
I don't know.
hate him.
I still think he's kind of an idiot.
I hate his son. I don't like his son.
Bronny, you don't
Yeah.
know.
Wait,
you don't
Bronny
know
or
him.
Bryce Maximus?
Don't like him either.
Where's Maximus?
Is that actually his name?
Yeah.
Maximus is his middle name.
Yeah.
What don't you like about Bronny?
His son?
Yeah.
That he's LeBron's son?
No.
It's nothing more than that.
LeBron's a good guy. He cares about people. He lends helping hands.
Yeah,
That's
he's
fine.
He's
I don't
a good,
think
good member of the community.
I don't think he's a bad human. I just don't like him. I don't really.
The only thing I can't get over with him is like how he talks to the refs and how he's always bitching after everything. But
whenever I
everyone
think about
is
LeBron,
nowadays.
I just constantly when he was on his stupid show, The Shop on HBO, and when he blocked, was it who did he block? And was it Iguodala who did he block? And he goes, that right there is what made me the greatest player of all time.
Yeah, I remember hearing
that. I
That's
forgot.
so
I forgot
arrogant.
about that.
Yeah, I hate LeBron.
I'm not a LeBron fan, but I respect him from afar sometimes.
That was just like,
fuck him.
Michael Jordan doesn't call himself the greatest of all time.
Up there. That's funny, man.
So I think Ben Simmons, I think he's underrated.
Underrated?
Shoots 56% from the field. He's an elite defender.
Well, he only shoots inside the paint, so
Hey,
that should probably
learn
be,
how to stop
that should
him.
probably be a little better.
Learn how to stop him. I used to say that he was better than Tatum.
You still say that?
No, I've taken that back, but I still think he's underrated. If he could just... My big issue with him is not that he can't shoot, is that he won't shoot. And you see him in warm-ups that he can hit jump shots. Well, like, dude, you just...
Yeah, I mean,
why
if
are
he
you
adds
such a pussy?
if he adds that to his game, then look out.
Like Giannis, too. Like, Giannis could, learn how to shoot threes.
I don't
Good
think
luck
Giannis
stopping him.
can add that. His shot is so
It's
broken.
still better than Simmons. At least he
No,
tries.
it's not.
Yeah,
Giannis' shot
his
is so
his
broken.
exact quote was, "That one right there made me the greatest player of all time."
Yeah.
That's how I felt. Yeah.
I
don't like
I
that.
hate LeBron.
So what? Who we got next?
Another
D-Book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he gets
Over.
Underrated.
Overrated. Way
Underrated,
overrated.
dude.
A guy that's
Nobody
never
talks
won
about
anything.
Devin Booker.
A guy that has never won anything.
A guy who scored 70 points.
He
I don't
doesn't.
care.
Well, he doesn't get that highly rated. He didn't even get an All-Star nod this year.
Biggest All-Star snub I've ever seen.
Bradley Beal was a bigger snub, but we'll get to that another day.
Well, he still got
No,
snubbed hard.
They
A
both
lot of
got
guys
snubbed.
got snubbed.
Good. NBA's loaded with talent. There's
Okay, well,
always
Chris
gonna be
Paul
big
could have
snubs.
got left out.
Hey, he's playing good this year. D-Book, I'm going to
Averaging like
say
16 points a
slightly
game.
overrated. Not as overrated as Ben Simmons. I think Ben Simmons is held at a higher pedestal.
Devin Booker's
That's why
underrated.
he should be more overrated.
Devin
than
Booker, to me, could be like a borderline top 10 player in the league.
What?
He doesn't have a great attitude either, though. Like some people say he's hard to play with. He whines at his teammates.
Never won anything.
I mean,
Never.
granted,
He's in Phoenix.
Yeah,
They don't
Phoenix
have that
is-
bad of a team.
Phoenix
Okay,
is
well,
And if
basketball
he's so
purgatory.
good, they don't even sniff the playoffs every year. Don't even sniff it. What place are they in right now? 13th in the West?
Yeah.
They've got a number one pick in DeAndre Ayton. Kelly Oubre's not bad. My guy Aaron Baines is out there.
Who coaches that team?
Baines had 37 and 16 a few weeks ago before they shut down the league.
What was he shooting?
He
Did
was
he shoot-
9 of 11 from 3 that game. Where
Him
was
and
that?
Marcus Smart both had. Remember that 3-point where Marcus Smart had like 50 points or something? And he hooked up like 25 threes?
Yeah.
Something crazy like that. What about James Harden? Over.
I'm going to say overrated as well.
James Harden is one of the best scorers I've ever seen, though. He really is, but I think what he's done to basketball is terrible. I think
He's
the way
only-
that he throws his body around like a fucking pussy ass soccer player.
Flailing his head back every single time he touches the ball.
Yeah.
I think just based off what people say, like people argue if he's a better scorer, better player than MJ, and it's just like the second I see that, like you need help. He's
Yeah.
He's overrated. He is. His numbers are off the chart. If you went by just his numbers,
Yeah.
he's not overrated. But like he takes away from.
But
the
again,
team.
another guy who's never won anything. He's one of the worst.
He's a loser.
Yeah,
He's a loser. The Houston Rockets, losers.
Yeah.
James Harden, loser.
He's
Russell
one of the,
Westbrook,
he's one of the
loser.
laziest defenders I've ever seen on
Mike
a basketball
D'Antoni,
court. Yeah, loser.
Complete loser. Yeah, James
Loser.
Harden is extremely lazy.
Yeah.
And he chokes every year.
Yeah. And
Big time.
finds a way to blame it on somebody or something else. Yeah. I really don't like James Harden.
Yeah, I think this guy, Jimmy Butler, I think is an interesting one.
I'm
He's
gonna
playing on a
go
bunch
out
of
and
different
say-
teams.
underrated.
Underrated.
A lot of people
I think
shit on
he's-
him,
I think
but
he's overrated. Another guy I don't like.
I don't like Jimmy that much either. But he's got these
Talk
young
about-
guns out in Miami playing real good basketball. They all look
Yeah.
to him as their leader. He's a multi-tool guy. He defends.
Which is interesting because I couldn't picture, like, if I had to play on, like, a team with a guy like that, I'd be like, fuck that. Like,
I
this
have him-
guy's a
I have him as
he's a
slightly
maniac.
slightly overrated, but he has shown me a lot in Miami. I've been impressed with him down there. I don't really think anybody was taking Miami serious coming into the season.
No, maybe
What are they,
talking about them as like a 7-8 seed.
What are they, the 4th seed right
Something
now?
like that. You know,
Yeah.
they've been hovering anywhere from 2 to 5 all year, so it's
Yeah.
impressive.
They don't
Yeah.
have a lot of
They
out of
have a lot of
Bayous.
talent.
Yeah, not anybody
No, yeah, they have
crazy,
no
though.
stars.
No stars.
No
Yeah.
stars, but they have a lot of very good players.
Out of Bayou's young.
Adebayo, Tyler Harrow. They got really good. They got the dunker there, Derek Jones Jr.
Yeah, Duncan Robinson.
Yeah, the D3 player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, always an impressive story to bring up. Yeah, I'll say. So what we got? Underrated, a little overrated.
Yeah, Ben Simmons. What did we come to?
No, but about, for Jimmy Butler, I'm asking.
Jimmy Butler. I think he's slightly overrated.
Okay.
I don't,
Overrated, but I'm trending the other way.
Dude, there's
as
so
of right
there's
now.
so many ballers in this league, and like people like put Jimmy up there in like a top 15 player in the league. I'm
Right.
like,
There are a lot of
fuck outta
people
here.
who probably can do what he does.
He's
Yeah.
good to get to the
Given
line.
the role.
He can get to the line
Yeah.
when he needs to, and he's a smart player from what I've watched.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't love the guy
he works
either.
hard.
Not a
but-
lot of likable guys in the NBA, to
All right.
say the least.
How about we'll let you knock
not my
off
guy,
the last
not
one?
my guy,
Oh,
Steph
yeah.
Curry.
Steph Curry is, in my opinion, one of the most overrated players
How
in league
can you
history.
even say that?
What do you mean? Because he's never really won anything by himself. But yet people put him up. Oh, he's one of the best point. He is. People say he is the best
Nobody
point
wins
guard
titles
ever.
by themselves.
Yeah, no kidding. Jordan even didn't win all his titles by himself.
He didn't win any of them by himself.
Yeah, but Curry would have 0, and he was the 2 with Durant. The only reason that he lost to Cleveland, and then him and Steve Kerr's sorry ass had to go recruit KD. That's pathetic.
Nah,
It's not
That's such a
pathetic,
little
dude.
he
dick
changed the
move.
league.
No, it's
he
not.
changed the league.
How do you
forever.
not think that's pathetic to go recruit Kevin Durant?
I think it's pathetic
I think
for
it
Kevin
just
Durant to
happened.
sign there.
It is.
I don't think it's
100%
pathetic for them
agree.
to recruit him.
Yeah,
Why
they're
wouldn't you
just
want all the
recruiting the
best
best
players
free
on your
agents.
if
team?
you're an alpha male, you would not want
He
Kevin Durant on
doesn't. He
your
doesn't
team.
identify himself as an alpha male because he's above
Well,
all that bullshit.
fans do.
He defines
Fans
himself
do.
as
He's
a
above
winner.
all that bullshit.
Yeah.
He's a great
Maybe
player.
he is, but the fans aren't.
He's a winner. That's what Steph Curry is in my
I
eyes.
completely disagree.
How can you can't disagree?
Yes,
He's
I
won
can because
3 titles.
He's never going to win another title as long as he's the best player on the team.
He's already
Period.
won 2 as the best player on the team.
Yeah.
Or 1, sorry. What, they won 2 with KD?
Yeah, because Cleveland was a decimated
They were
team.
winning that
So what? They
regardless.
won the title. They made
Yeah,
it
no
through the
Kevin
West.
Love,
Yeah,
no
you can
Kyrie.
bring up ifs or buts for any
No
title
kidding.
run.
Yeah,
That's-
I'll
I
bring
think
it up for
it's
this
cheap.
one.
A title's a title.
He's
Yeah,
not.
and
he's
they
got
made it
3
through the
of
Western
them.
Conference, which was still pretty stacked at the time.
Always stacked.
Golden State's coming nowhere near another championship.
That is,
I don't know,
think
dude.
they might win it next year.
Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Andrew Wiggins.
They're gonna have a
Wiggins,
top 3.
eh.
They're gonna have a top 3 pick
Draymond.
this year,
Yeah,
which they can flip or keep.
yeah.
They're winning the title next
Yeah, I
year.
think Golden
Everyone's
State.
They're
everyone-
winning the title.
They're winning the title next
I
year.
think
If
they
they
put
were- and if they
themselves
were
right
healthy-
back in the
And
conversation.
if they were
next
healthy
year.
this year, I would be taking them over both LA teams.
Mm,
That's just the power of that
Close.
formula.
they're in that.
over
They're
there.
in the conversation, and I think they'll be right back in the
It's just
conversation.
no
next
ego
year. I
basketball.
can't believe
Next year
that you
down.
would call the only unanimous MVP ever
I don't care
completely overrated.
that he was a unanimous MVP.
What?
Those
I
are
don't
skewed.
care.
Those are skewed because sometimes you'll have this one reporter who doesn't like the guy and he'll purposely vote against him just so he doesn't get a unanimous. Pretty sure that might have happened recently in one of the leagues.
Derek Jeter. There was was
Oh,
it Jeter? Yeah, one guy,
his
one
Hall of Fame
reporter.
voting?
Didn't vote for
Yeah, so it wasn't unanimous because
Yeah.
one, and they wouldn't release his name because
Yeah.
the guy would probably get death threats.
No kidding.
But how stupid do you have to be to not think Derek Jeter's
a Hall of Famer?
how stupid is
Idiotic.
that whole idealism of well, I'm just not gonna make it unanimous.
Yeah. What a
Fuck you.
How much do you have to
What's
hate
the
life?
point of that?
That's like if RJ was a Hall of Fame voter.
no kidding.
Yeah, Steph Curry's not
He'd be
first
like,
ballot
nope,
in my eyes.
nope.
Yeah.
Whole bunch of no's. They kicked me off after the first year.
Yeah.
So moving on, Edelman versus Welker. Both slot receivers. Who's the better player? Who's had the better career?
The better route runner and the more talented receiver is Wes Welker.
So we'll say the better career. Who's had the better career
I
then?
think it's
Edelman.
pretty clear. The one with 3 rings has
Yeah.
had the better career. He's been the
It's
best.
Welker.
He's been the best receiver on each of those 3 championship teams.
How is it Welker?
I think Gronk.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
totally.
but he's a tight
Maybe-
end, so I get what you're saying.
No, but
They're probably the best pure receiver.
sure, yeah.
Maybe not in those playoff runs, though. You could make the argument that Danny Amendola was a better receiver in those playoff runs.
I'd say it's
I mean,
I would have to bring up the numbers. Either way,
Edelman took home MVP honors in the Atlanta game.
No, I know. Yeah, that's true. The latest one.
Well,
Welker's got 300 plus more receptions, 3,000 more yards, 14 more touchdowns. He destroys them in every single stat.
the offense ran differently.
Is that
was
over?
around.
Yeah, the offense was more high powered.
They were throwing the ball almost every play because they had Lawrence Murray in the backfield. So, yes, his numbers blow Edelman's out of the water. There's no debating that. One, Edelman still has a little time in the tank, so that gap's going to be shortened. And two,
Hardly.
I think they're a little skewed because of what I was saying. Because I was just saying, the offense was a passing.
Yeah, they were
phenomenon.
high powered in
And
08 to
08 to
11, 12,
yeah.
whatever.
Even
they
after
were
that,
putting up.
Welker was still around with a little bit of. Or actually, no, he wasn't there when they went to the Super Bowl with Hernandez, was he?
No, he was there.
Yeah,
that
he
was
was.
when he dropped the pass.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I was going to bring up. So one of the factors here that I have going in Edelman's direction is just like big play / clutchness. I mean, everyone knows Edelman. So you got one who has the infamous Super Bowl drop and one that has the infamous Super Bowl catch.
I think if he didn't have that drop, we would be having more of a conversation right now, and you guys would be more
because
in
if
tune
he
to
didn't have
argue
that
with me.
drop, then
No,
you would also
I'm-
have.
I'm not
because
even-
if he didn't have that drop, you would also have a ring right now.
I'm hardly
Potentially.
I'm
Yeah,
hardly,
no, yeah, I know
I'm
what
hardly
you're
even taking the drop into consideration. I'm not going to define a player's career based on one
Okay, I respect that.
one
I'm not-
play.
That's not.
No, I know you're not
lot of
completely,
lot of
but he
people have
definitely gets a
drops.
lot of shit. People
does.
hate on Welker big time and don't really realize how good of a player he was for
Yeah,
us.
and
No,
I
and
think
it sucks that he had to drop that pass because he was a good Patriot. And
Sure-handed, and it was a tough ball to catch too. Don't get me wrong.
he
but
should
it's
have
just
caught
like-
it. He
yeah.
should have caught it.
and
Absolutely.
he could have even played longer
But-
if it wasn't for all his concussions
Yeah, he was fucked
Well,
up.
dude,
and being
he's
addicted
on-
to ecstasy.
Oh, I
He
did not
really
know
did
that.
not know that either.
He wasn't addicted, but he was caught like doing Molly. At some
Really?
point.
No
Yeah.
shit. What's Molly?
I'll tell you about it later.
Yeah.
Edelman had a huge drop this past postseason against Tennessee on 4th down.
He
He
did,
lost
yeah.
them the game.
That game was lost already.
No, the game was there to be won. There was like 2 minutes left in the game, and you drop it on 4th down. What do you mean, The season, he cost them the season.
All right.
Cost
Yes,
him
he
the
did.
season.
You're taking your side. He
No,
did not
I'm not.
cost
If
them
it's
the
4th
season.
down in a playoff game with a few minutes left,
Yeah,
and
it was
you're
a,
down,
it was
and you
a tough
drop
drop,
it.
but they shouldn't have. It's not his fault they were even in that situation.
All right, you building.
Okay, so you could say the same thing for Welker. It's not his fault they were in that situation.
I guess you could, but
You're building an all-time Patriot team. Who would you pick at slot? Which one would you take?
Welker.
I mean, it's tough. Edelman does a lot more of the things that don't get seen in games or on the stat sheets. He's more physical. He's a better blocker. He does more on the special teams. Granted, Welker was a little wizard back there
Yeah, good
returning
punter,
punts.
returner.
They're probably a push when it comes to special teams.
I think I might lean Welker if I'm building an all-time team with
I mean,
that.
yeah, because on paper Welker looks better, but when it comes down to who's going to do the winning plays, who's going to lay down that game-winning block,
Who's going to ignore the league rules and just shoot up?
yeah,
both
tough.
have shot up though.
Yeah,
Got suspensions. Yeah, Edelman got one when he was on Denver, and then obviously
Welker got one when he got.
I've
Yeah, then Edelman got one
argued
recently.
too long on behalf of Edelman being the better Patriot to choose Welker for an all-time team. So I would pick Edelman, bring that toughness to your team.
I think Edelman's obviously more clutch, but I think obviously, like I said, Danny Amendola is probably the most clutch receiver out of all of them.
Relax.
What do you mean relax? Why don't you go back and watch?
Yeah,
the
he
highlights
had
of that
one. What he had
Jacksonville
two good.
game?
He had two good games in that postseason.
Why don't
where
you
he
go
caught-
check the Seattle Super Bowl? He was very good.
What
in.
he caught?
So
one
was Edelman.
touchdown?
I don't know his exact numbers.
Edelman probably had better numbers in that Seattle Super Bowl.
Go the Jacksonville AFC Championship game where then they ended
Yeah,
up
and the
losing to
Ravens game
Philly.
before that, Amendola had great games. But
Yeah,
for you to
he's-
say he's the most clutch wide receiver for
Out
the
of those
Patriots,
two.
no way, dude.
What do you mean no way?
Edelman had that catch. He won us the Super Bowl, and it's not like he was no-showing through those games. Amendola had some good games.
Yeah.
Amendola,
I'm not going to say Amendola was more clutch than Edelman.
that's blasphemous.
You think it's that outrageous to say that Amendola is more clutch?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
just
because
no way.
because his number wasn't really called on to win those games. You know, like
he was in the right place at the right
Whatever.
time. It could have
Yeah.
been
Come
Jacob Hollister.
It wasn't-
catching
it
those
wasn't-
balls.
it wasn't
That's
Brady.
disrespectful.
It wasn't Brady and
I love my guy Amendola. He is super clutch. It's just I'm not going to say he was more clutch.
Yeah, it
than
wasn't
Edelman.
Brady and Amendola leading them through the playoffs.
So who do you think has
Brady
a better
and Edelman.
Hall of Fame probability of getting in?
Welker.
Welker, huh? With no rings? He's never getting in with no rings.
I don't know. I don't think I can.
My argument
I don't think I
is-
can put Edelman in.
My argument, so you have that stance, RJ has his stance. My thing is, if you look at Welker does have a ring because he got one with Denver, right?
No, he has none.
Welker didn't
The
get a ring
only one
with
that
them?
he was on was when they got blown out by Seattle. He
Oh,
wasn't
poor
on
guy.
the one where Manning's arm was bumped.
Yeah.
He was not on.
Shit. Oh, yeah, he was only there for the record-setting offense. So, yeah, I'm going to say that if you combine Welker's numbers with Edelman's rings, you have a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
I think Welker, with his numbers and no rings, he'll get some consideration. I don't think he's going to get in. And then when it's all said and done, Edelman's going to have good enough numbers coupled with those 3 rings.
Top 5 in like playoff yards and
He's
touchdowns.
He might even have playoff records right now.
He does have a playoff record. I think he passed Jerry Rice for something either this past.
Most receiving yards in the
Me and
playoffs.
RJ
Or maybe most receptions.
Me and RJ have had this debate before, and I went in and I looked at Edelman's numbers compared to wide receivers that are already in the Hall of Fame, and his numbers are much worse than all of those guys. But some of those guys don't have rings, and I just think if you couple Edelman's numbers with his 3 rings, he's got a pretty good shot.
If he's going to get in, it has to be the rings. Which 3 is a good. He has 3 rings.
Not a lot of people have.
I know.
Not a lot of receivers have 3 rings. But
I don't think either of them
his numbers are slouchy.
No, they're not bad, but
they're obviously standalone, not even close to all Hall of Fame.
If people are gonna call for Eli Manning to be into the Hall of Fame, then
he's gonna get in, which is
Eli?
a joke.
Yeah,
I think he deserves to get in.
Why?
I don't. His numbers are garbage.
I don't think any quarterback that won 2 Super Bowls hasn't gotten into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But that doesn't mean you have to let him in.
He's top 10 in passing yards all time.
All time interceptions leader.
Well, Brett Favre had that for a while too. I mean,
because Brett Favre played till he was 50.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll just say I think Eli deserves to get in for those 2 runs.
I think the worst TD to interception ratio of all time.
He's going to get in because of the 2 runs in his last name.
Yeah,
he would be lying if to say that he's a Manning. I'm sure Archie's got some pull down there.
All he did was jump on the back of his defense and say, "Let's go, boys."
Hey, he came out clutch, not even just in those the Super Bowls, but in both of those playoff stretches. He was extremely clutch. It was just a totally light switch, different Manning for those 2 years.
Last thing I'll say about Edelman, I don't really know how many more seasons he's got left in him. He's 30. He's going to be 34 in May.
Yeah,
and he can't stay on the field for a whole season.
And I'm not even taking a shot at him. These guys are slot receivers. They play over the middle of the field. He was so beat down by the end of last season. Welker's 38. He's been out of the league since 2015.
Yeah.
Well, so I think
he's already played past him.
Could be Jules' last season.
Not quite.
I would like to look at his contract.
Yeah.
And if he's got 2 years left on it, maybe he's going to call it quits after that. Because his body keeps breaking down year by year.
Speaking of him going over the middle all the time, he had his guy Brady who knew how to get him the ball, not get him laid out by, he's going to have these new guys coming in.
Potentially a second-year receiver that might not know.
Quarterback,
sorry.
No, laying,
who just lay him out.
If he gets lit up a couple times in a game and it's because of the quarterback laying it out for him, I expect a different reaction from him getting up as opposed to if it was Brady throwing those balls.
Oh, yeah. He doesn't exactly have the concussion history that Welker has.
No, not even close.
Because Welker was wearing those big helmets by the end.
Welker was looking like a
He was
Pee-wee football star.
He was like one more concussion away from being brain dead or something.
Yeah.
He probably had half a dozen that
Edelman's in better shape than I think Welker was down the stretch of his career, and obviously Edelman's jacked for his size, tough. I know he's shot up a little bit. I can see him
but
playing.
He's always been tough.
I give him 2 or 3 more years.
Welker was already out of the league at this rate.
Yeah, no, I'd give him 2 more years, and if they're close, say on that last year, they're close to making the Super Bowl, maybe he'll sign.
Yeah, I think it's 2 more, maybe 3. Maybe he gets one.
Sign a 1-year deal.
I think it's
something.
maybe 2. I could see this being his last season.
So coronavirus has had a lot of effect on the sports world. I was watching cornhole this past weekend, so there's really absolutely, and I was into it too.
I was watching Pizza Box folding, so
yeah, ESPN the Ocho is rough.
Saving us.
When I turned it on Sunday morning, they were showing sign spinning competitions. So, do you think that we're going to see leagues like the NBA and NHL come back? And do you want to see it happen? Well, obviously, you want to see it happen, but do you think they should do it? And
do I think they should do it as opposed to just canceling the season and starting anew next year?
Yeah.
This is gonna go down as one of those NBA years where it's a lockout year and it's almost like they have an asterisk next to their title. I think they should resume both of those leagues. Maybe have 2 or 3 weeks of regular season. Obviously, it's going to be less games than you would normally play, and then I think you just go right into the playoffs. run it
Well,
late.
if they played 2 or 3 weeks of regular season, wouldn't that just about finish out?
Actually, yeah, you're right. So
maybe not for the NBA, but I know the NHL's only got like 10. I was saying
NBA has like 20 plus games left.
I think
for most
it's
teams.
I think the
20 to
Celtics had
25.
18. Actually.
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
it's better
So it's
than
like
that.
3 weeks.
Yeah,
at least close to that.
A month.
I think play half a dozen games, get into the playoffs because they're already talking June, July. So and then there's been rumors that they're going to have some weird playoff format.
Yeah, some tournament thing.
Yeah, so like where the first round is going to be best of 5, and then the next 2 rounds are going to be just one game, and then it's going to be best of 5. It's like all bizarre, and they're talking about having all the games get played at a neutral site game in Vegas where they have the summer league games. No crowd, which I'm fine with no crowd if that's what you have to do. I'd rather that than no sports at all. And it's just going to be the players and obviously just a TV crew to be able to put it on get it on TV.
If they come back, I don't support any of that mumbo jumbo. I think it needs to be like traditional playoff format.
Yeah, I don't either.
Maybe if you shorten the first round to 5 games, that's fine. But whatever you were just describing, I couldn't even follow along.
Well, yeah, it also makes no sense. Why would the first round be best of 5, which is probably not the important series, and the series in the next 2 are
sudden
I would be all right with everything being all 32 teams, sudden death. One plays at 32, big bracket like college basketball or something.
Bring a bracket out.
Maybe make the finals best of 3.
That would be pretty.
That
cool.
would be cool. That would be really cool.
So, do you think that the MLB? What do you think the MLB is going to do?
I think the MLB is going to finally be able to test out that shortened schedule. Maybe run with like a 100-game schedule, 120-game schedule.
Yeah.
So people were talking about like keeping it around 162 and forcing them to do double headers all the time. I don't like.
I don't like that either because how many? I probably don't. I don't have the numbers to back it up.
Yeah.
But how many of those double headers just end up getting split?
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they just end up splitting it every day.
Yeah.
And obviously you guys know Scott Boras, big time MLB agent.
Yeah.
He wants them to play. Wants a full 162 because he's a greedy bastard.
Yeah.
He wants all of his his clients to get all their money, and they're going to play the World Series into December.
Oh my god!
So what are you going to have to start searching for neutral site baseball
in the
games?
West.
If they don't somehow shrink the season down and they still try and get 162 in, I've lost. I pretty much have already lost all hope. That just shows. And the owner, or not the owner, the commissioner, Rob Manfred, was on SVP, Scott Van Pelt, and said that something like, quote unquote, our fans love the 162 game season. No, they don't. Nobody wants. 162 games is so ridiculous. That's like half the year.
That's literally why nobody can sit down and watch a baseball game because it means nothing.
You have to. You got to at least shrink it down by 20 games to start with.
It used to be like 135 games. I don't know what maniac looked at that and was like, how about 30 more?
Do you really need 162 games? That's insane. 162.
Yeah.
They play from the end of March till even if you don't make the playoffs, September, and then they're back at spring training in February. That's nuts.
Yeah.
Like that, it's just outrageous.
Yeah.
Do you want to see the Premier League season get canceled so then Liverpool can't get a real
their
first championship?
Poor Liverpool, dude. I think the Premier League should find a way to finish the game. They only have 9 or 8 games
left.
left.
They're really close to being
You got to finish that in, for them to just consider...
Play an empty stadium.
They're talking about doing, null and void the whole season. Do you know these Premier League seasons start, at, the end of the summer?
August. End of August.
So it's August to March just to throw it all away. These guys have done a lot. I think what they would have to do to get them all done in a reasonable time would be doing, a Saturday, Wednesday fixture type thing where these teams, instead of just playing once a week, they pretty much are playing twice a week. It'll be over before you know it. There's a lot of teams in the league that want the season to be canceled. There's a lot that have a lot to play for still. So
I don't love Liverpool.
They
haven't wrapped up though.
It's as wrapped up as it's ever been.
I'm surprised
they
haven't even clinched yet. They have to be
they're 1 win away from.
Okay,
clinching.
I was gonna say they have to because what are they 20 points up?
They're
on
25 up on City or something crazy.
That's why sometimes I don't like the format. I wish they could. Yeah. It's hard to because if they're 30 points up on somebody, but
I understand people saying
it's not. There's no.
It needs to conclude whether they let it go one more week so Liverpool can clinch. I'm a United fan, so I am not supposed to like Liverpool, and I don't like Liverpool, but it would be pretty fucked up if they got denied their first ever Premier League title.
I would like to see the Premier League put in some type of format where there's some type of drama at the end of the season.
What do you mean exactly? Like somewhat of a playoff
Yeah,
format?
I would do it.
Well, like maybe the top 4 teams going to a...
Yeah.
They're so... Those soccer people
No
are so
way.
traditional.
I know it'll
Yeah.
never happen. And my other thing, even if they did it the MLS to make soccer more exciting, no more draws. So if you draw after 90 minutes, penalty shootout right away.
Yeah, they
for
used to
2
do that, I'm
points.
pretty sure. For 2 points?
For
Okay.
2 points.
Yeah. I like that. And
It's who doesn't like to watch a penalty shootout? They're very exciting.
you know the MLS, did you see the videos on Twitter recently? Their penalty shootouts, they used to give a guy the ball at midfield and he would dribble and play one-on-one with the keeper. Like get a running start. It's pretty funny to watch. But one last word on soccer. They're talking about this would obviously make American soccer and the MLS much better. They're talking about combining it with Mexico's league, making one big league. I think that would be a really good idea because then you could have
you're saying?
yeah, they would be Liga MX and MLS combining, and then they could kind of start getting closer to the Europe format where they would have a relegation system and stuff like that. So I don't know.
Yeah, because
something to look
MLS
forward.
doesn't have relegation.
No, there's
right?
only one division.
How many teams do they have?
They're close to 20, if not at 20 now.
And Mexico's probably 20,
David Beckham
something like that.
Yeah, Mexico might have more established league, but
I know more teams are.
MLS is on the come up. They're getting not only like are some of the bigger names coming over, but you know
for like 10 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Not really though.
A lot of people keep saying that soccer is gonna make it come up here.
It is making it come up.
Not
I've
really.
literally heard that since I was in high school.
Yeah, you're interested in soccer, English soccer though,
No,
not
it's
American soccer.
It's coming up. I went to a lot. Those battle of those what they call them El Trafico, LAFC versus
That's
LA
funny.
Galaxy. Those were exciting to watch, man. When Zlatan came over and was battling with Carlos Vela, they had a golden boot race. I just think it's on the come up.
Zlatan's still a guy probably over the hill.
I mean, well, he's
not in his
scored some
prime.
goals over in Italy when he left LA Galaxy, but yeah,
Who's he on Milan now?
AC Milan.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I know what you're saying. Like these people who are kind of washed up in European soccer can come over and dominate in the United States.
Andy, how about your favorite owner in the city of Boston, Jeremy Jacobs?
Yeah,
How do you feel about?
Did you see that?
No, we'll actually fill me in on that real quick and fill in the viewers too.
Okay, so
I know a little bit about
for
it.
your
but
information, Jeremy Jacobs is worth $3.3 billion with a
lot.
B.
It's a lot of dollars.
He has, I think, something like 780 some odd amount of team employees that he's refusing to pay during this like coronavirus crisis. Dude, I have a part-time job at Dick's Sporting Goods. They're paying me for all my hours.
No shit.
Yes.
Are they really?
Yeah.
So even since you're not working because of the outbreak,
Yeah.
you're still getting paid?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I cannot believe that this fucker is sitting up on his throne, and the people are literally like at the
Please, I need
please,
money.
Please, dude, I need to feed my family. I need to pay my bills.
Especially
I
when
need to pay
everybody
my
else
rent.
is doing it.
Yeah,
Everybody
all
else.
the other owners.
Dude,
That
you don't
just
even
shows he
have to-
doesn't care. He doesn't
Yeah.
care that he looks like a complete
Yeah.
D-bag.
Yeah. I was reading it on like a USA Today article, and the guy who wrote it was saying like Boston fans should be ashamed about their owner, and I legitimately feel that way. Like I have a harder time rooting for the Boston Bruins knowing that it's Jeremy Jacobs who's reaping the benefits of their success, because fuck that, man. I mean, that's just
It's unfortunate too that he's a part of he owns some group that owns the Garden. It's unfortunate that it's not Wick. Prospect, the Celtics owner that owns the Garden, because then he would pay.
Dude,
He
you
seems
don't
like a
you
good
don't
guy
even
that would
have to
pay.
pay them their full salaries.
Like you said, give him a check.
Cut him a check for $1,000, $1,500.
Not that much to ask for a guy that's worth, what'd you say, $3.3 billion?
he could afford to pay them all $50,000 for the next month, and he'd still be loaded. That really just got under my skin. But at least Bergeron and what's his name, Marchand, they both donated.
Well, not a lot. Oh, it wasn't Bergeron. It was Marchand, Rask, and Pastrnak. This was like 2 weekends ago. I saw that they donated a good amount of money, $1,000.
$1,000.
Wait, shut up.
$1,000.
$1,000, dude.
And I know hockey players don't make that much money, but $1,000?
Couldn't
Like
it be
really?
10,000?
That's insulting.
Could it be $5?
Yeah.
You might as well not.
Could it be $2?
Hey, Drew Brees though? $5 million? You saw him and his wife donated $5 million?
Did they really?
Yeah, that's more than the
Than
billionaire owners are
$1,000.
giving.
$1,000.
God, I can't stand owners and billionaires and people who sit on their fucking.
But for the most part, the owners in these teams have been good about it. It's just this one it's like you would think you would follow the trend and
Not
not look like
kidding.
a dirtbag. That just makes it way worse because it shows he just doesn't care.
Yeah.
And like these people are like, these people don't make a lot of money that work at the Garden. They're hurting right now. And you think if you had
there was one owner who wasn't paying his employees, and like all over Twitter and all over social media, they were shaming him to shit until he gave in. And he was like, all right, you know what? Then I will pay them. And now people are calling to do the same thing to Jacobs.
They should. This is what I say. When they reopen things, it probably won't be
Boycott
until next season. If you go to the games, eat before you go in. There's so many businesses right outside the Garden, the North End. Eat there before you go. Go buy some nips from a local liquor store. Sneak them all in. Don't give this guy your money.
Yeah, so that way all the team employees won't make any money either.
Yeah, that's what I've also kind of thought about, but...
Fuck them, they'll just have to close their doors.
But, yeah, don't go in there and buy their $15 fucking beers.
Yeah.
And then a slice of pizza for $12. Oh, you a little thirsty? You want a bottle of water?
Buy their,
$6. This
don't buy their
illegal.
merch. Don't buy... dude. Fuck that.
It's so... Like, those are the type of people that you don't want to see have a lot of money because they're not...
No, they don't deserve it. They don't deserve it.
People. This dude's like 80-something. Hopefully he drops dead soon, sorry, and one of his sons takes over the Bruins and takes over that big company and learns to run things right.
Yeah.
Because this guy is clearly off his fucking tree.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just picturing, like, his people or his circle coming to him and being like, Mr. Jacobs...
Oh, there's people doing that. There's PR guys. You know how much bad PR they're taking?
The issue of paying your employees, that's, it's all over social media, and, maybe we need to reconsider our no.
The old bat probably doesn't even know what social media is.
I don't care what they say about me on Twitter.
So, have you heard about the Netflix documentary, The Tiger King?
Yeah, I haven't watched it.
So, for people listening, if you haven't watched this documentary yet, it's an 8-episode. It just came out on Netflix. It's the #1 trending thing on Netflix right now. You have to watch this documentary. I got 2 episodes left. It's probably the best documentary I've seen. It's something that you would not think is real. It's about this guy.
It's because your documentary game is weak.
Yeah, why don't you come sit down and recommend one?
Also, don't talk too much about it because I still haven't watched it.
No, I won't say anything because I'm not going to ruin it for people that are listening, too.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's just pretty much a group of collective people down in the South that own exotic animals, and things get crazy. It's something that you would think would never happen, but I highly...
It's not illegal to own exotic animals?
So, maybe at the end of the documentary they get to it, because I know at the beginning there's people that are, like, at Congress trying to get them to pass a bill. But they show in Ohio, this is probably within the last 10 years, a guy owned a bunch of exotic animals in his backyard. He decided to just let them loose on the town. 17 tigers and bears and shit. And they had to kill pretty much all of them. Horrible. And just some psychopath can go get himself a tiger, and then he's going to let it loose on the town? That's like something out of a movie.
Yeah, we need stricter tiger laws in this country.
I agree.
If I had a tiger, I'd treat it right. I wouldn't do any of that bullshit.
Yeah. Until the thing fucking rips you. Hey, I will say in the documentary, it's surprising, like, because
what do tigers do?
They raise them as
little tiger.
They raise them as cubs, and like. Yeah, I don't know what you guys are singing right now.
The Hangover Stew
Come
song?
on, idiot.
Whatever. You got a documentary you think that's good on Netflix?
I mean, I've been into those, like, murder type. I got 3 all in the same genre. I'm sure everyone's seen Making a Murderer.
Haven't.
If you haven't seen Making a Murderer, you should check out The Staircase. And lastly, if you haven't seen The Staircase, you should watch the new one that they came out with, the trials of Gabriel Fernandez. All Netflix originals, and
I
they're
haven't
all
seen that either.
awesome
I
documentaries.
want to watch that one.
It is a tough watch, and it's dark. They're all dark.
How many episodes for the game?
All of them are like 8,
so
8 to 10. They're extremely well made. Each one I named won awards except for the recent one because it's just came out.
Netflix does a good job with their documentaries.
Oh, great job.
All their films too. So I just watched
I wouldn't say all, but a lot of them.
Well, a lot of them. I just watched a Netflix film. It's a Spanish film. It's called The Platform. It's fucking metal, dude. It's good. It's really good.
Yeah.
And they do offer it in English voiceovers. So you don't have to
don't have
Sit
to
there
use
and
your
read,
brain and
yeah.
read. I don't know about you guys. Even for English stuff, I'm subtitles always now.
Yeah,
As a
what-
kid,
what?
I hated
So
subtitles.
you always have subtitles on, but if a movie's in another language and you have to have subtitles on to
I just don't
understand
want to
it,
hear all that going on. It's just cloud my brain.
I've never watched with subtitles.
I mean, it's a lot. Like it's just a lot to process. You know. I don't
it's
know.
really not.
I just prefer not. I haven't even
Listen,
really
I
given
would-
a movie in another language shot unless it was like in school. And actually, the one I don't even remember what movie it was. I just remember watching it and being interested. And it wasn't too much of a factor in like my thoughts on the movie. It being in another
What
language.
movie was it?
I don't remember. Maybe
The
it was
Godfather's a lot of subtitles.
was,
That's a popular opinion, though. A lot of people watch their movies with subtitles. I think that's
That's a debate right there. Maybe we'll have to put that up in a poll someday.
because I see a lot of people on Twitter
Big
saying
subtitles.
they
Why?
use subtitles.
If they're speaking the language that I understand, then I don't want that on my screen.
Yeah, see, it's comforting now. I always use subtitles.
It's just because you're like half paying attention. Well, that wouldn't make any sense either.
Also, if you're watching at night and you're trying to watch something to fall asleep, reading the subtitles from afar, it puts you right
But people
to sleep.
say reading a book
Yeah.
help you fall asleep at night. So hey,
That's my form of reading a book. And also, I also have them on in case they spit out something you can't understand, you know?
Big word.
Not quite a big word, more like some mumbo jumbo or quick talking type stuff, but
All right. Yeah. Listen, I'm not. Not
subtitles. Try them out.
totally judging you, but
last thing I'll bring up. You guys believe in aliens?
yeah.
quickly on
Yeah,
this.
we're not alone out here.
Absolutely not. I think there's been some serious
I'm looking that up right now.
alien activity
What, are there aliens?
here. Yeah, Google will give you the answer.
Aliens,
on that.
real or not?
So, there's been a couple of UFO sightings in Massachusetts recently. There was one March 8th in Plymouth County. It was on Barstool. Looked like a UFO or something to me. And then recently my boss at work showed me a picture right at his house in Ludlow by Westover of something in the sky that was definitely not a planet. So, I think that there's some real alien activity going on in this. And
If you can find the
Westover's
video,
right
if
there.
you can find the video, send it to me. Look at this. Is a list of all the.
All sightings or potential
Yeah,
sightings?
it's
In
like-
Mass too? Is that all
This
Mass?
is all Massachusetts.
I'm
There's
telling
been
you.
like
I
There's been,
live
like,
right near
2
that
dozen
airport
since
or
beginning of the
airport.
year.
I live right near the base, and growing up, there's definitely been some like things where you're just looking and scratching your head, or noises you hear.
Well, a lot of conspiracy theorists think that the Air Force has this, like UFOs has. So what my boss saw could have been
American,
Westover trying out one of their UFO things. I don't think it's that crazy to say. And I think we got to break into that base one of these times and really try and look. I want to find out. No, yeah, I don't think I should have been
We're
records.
joking.
Yeah, I'm not breaking into Westover. That's not going to happen.
But I don't know.
They'd shoot you on sight.
Probably.
Especially if you saw the aliens. They wouldn't let you get out of there alive.
Yeah.
want to see them
Or they'd
aliens.
sap your memory like in Men in Black.
If there were aliens, why not just tell the people? You know?
You see what everyone's been doing with the coronavirus? People would start going nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be complete havoc.
Yeah, I guess they do. Have
Yeah,
to
but it would
keep that to
eventually
themselves.
be old news. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Eventually,
like,
people
oh,
would be
wait,
like, "Oh
oh.
yeah, there's aliens. We
Yeah.
have some here.
They live amongst us.
Yeah,
It's kind of weird to think of.
they're our world
They're
leaders."
bloodthirst.
You guys got anything else to get to?
No, I think that's just
That's
about
it?
it. I was trying to watch this video, but
Yeah.
I'll do it after.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I got nothing else too. But
Okay.
yeah.
Sweet. All right. So, as you always, thanks
Yeah.
for listening. And
Stay healthy, stay clean.
it's been hard to find content to talk about, but we're going to keep trying to push
We're all-
forward.
Hey, any recommendations that you want to send to our Twitter page? We'd
Absolutely.
be glad to fish through some DMs if you guys want to hear us talk about anything on
Agreed.
the next episode.
Absolutely. At the
Yeah.
JDA show on Twitter.
Yep.
Okay. So, thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.
Peace out.
See you.